So, hello and welcome to Elevate classes once again. We'll continue with logic gates, and today we are going to do the third kind of logic gates that are called special gates, or as I told you in a previous lecture, these are also called as arithmetic gates. Okay, special gates भी कहते हैं, इन्हें arithmetic gates भी कहते हैं. And here there are two logic gates that we need to study. One is an exclusive OR gate, and another is an exclusive NOR gate. Okay, so let's start with the first one. That is going to be an exclusive OR gate. Okay, now this is also called as an XOR. So if you can see, there are a couple of different ways I have written it down. So sometimes it will be called exclusive OR. In some textbooks you'll just have EXOR, and in some textbooks you'll just have XOR. So whichever way it is, all these three are perfectly valid. You can call it anything. Okay, there's another important note. This particular gate is also called as an inequality detector. Why is it called so? We'll see in a moment. Okay, this is also called as an inequality detector. Okay, this is also called as an odd parity detector. Why? We'll see just in some time. Now let's start by the operator first. See, in the previous gates we always started with the symbol. Here we are not starting with the symbol because what is exclusive OR? यही तो हमें नहीं पता. And हमें पता था, not पता था. We knew what is AND, we knew what is OR operation, we knew what is NOR operation, and then of course we can always go to NAND and NOR. We knew AND, OR and NOT, and we can always combine them to make NAND and NOR. What on earth is this exclusive OR? There should be some operation that it corresponds to, right? So first of all, we define this kind of a symbol, that this symbol will be denoting the XOR operator. Henceforth, whenever you see a plus sign which is encircled, you have an XOR operator there. Okay, now how do you define the XOR operator? This is very important. Because this is going to be a new Boolean operation that we do not know of. ये हमें नहीं पता. तो XOR को define कैसे करते हैं? First I'll write it here, then I'll explain it. Simply A XOR B is defined as A bar B plus AB bar. Right? But this is not how we will remember it. The way to not make a mistake is, what I suggest is, write the product twice. Write AB plus AB. Whenever you see an XOR operator, if you want to be without any doubt, you want to get the right answer, write it twice. Write the product twice. Correct? Once you write the product twice, then you have to put the bars. First put the bar on top of the first variable, and in the second product put the bar on top of the second variable. इस मेथड को यूज करके बड़े आसानी से आप XOR ऑपरेटर को याद कर सकते हो, है ना? सो I'll take another example. हमारे पास X XOR Y है. उसमें हम क्या कर सकते हैं? प्रोडक्ट लिखिए दो बार प्रोडक्ट को ऐड करके लिखिए XY plus XY. Now how do you put the bars? In the first product, put the bar on top of the first variable. Second product में put the bar on top of the second variable, and you're done. बस इतना ही है XOR operator. So this is how you define it. Now what is the symbol? This is the symbol. If you notice, if I remove this one line, अगर मैं इस एक लाइन को हटा दूँ तो this looks very similar to OR, right? That's why this is called exclusive OR. So what we do is we just add one extra line over here, curved line, and we get the symbol of XOR. है ना? हमें XOR का symbol मिल जाता है. So I think now you've kind of got an idea of what the operator is and how it looks like. Okay, what is the operator, how it looks like, what is its definition, what is the symbol. Now we want to find the truth table. Okay, now since this is not AND or not, and this is not NAND and NOR, इसका ट्रुथ टेबल हमें फाइंड आउट करना पड़ेगा. We have to first fill the truth table. Like we have to find out, investigate what exactly will the truth table look like. I could directly give you the truth table right now, but I think it is better that we do an expanded version where we try and find out everything, and then we'll come back to the miniature truth table. ठीक है, पहले इसको अच्छे से समझ लेते हैं ट्रुथ टेबल आया कहाँ से. So first you have A, find out A bar. A का A बार क्या हो जाएगा? I'll just have इसको 0 को यहाँ कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर लिया. Correct? If I just take 0 complement, so I'll write it here. 0 complement is 1, 0 complement is 1, 0, 0. A बार बन गया. Now multiply A bar and B. Okay, now what are we doing? We are multiplying a bar and b. We are multiplying a bar and b together. If we multiply a bar b, we will get this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Dominance law, anything into 0 is 0. 1 into 1 is 1. So I got this table. I got this entry a bar b, right? Now let us find out b bar again. If I find out b bar, what will I get? B bar will be 1 0 1 0. Okay, I have taken the complement of this column. I have taken the complement of this column. So b bar मेरे पास ready हो गया. Now multiply a bar, a and b bar, a and b bar. So if I want a and b bar, I will multiply this column with this column and I should get this column, right? A into b bar, I should get a b bar, right? So let's try and multiply these two columns, a into b bar, right? I'm highlighting them so you can see them clearly. 0 into 1 0, 0 into 0 0, 1 into 1 1, 1 into 0 0. Okay, so I again got this column. Sorry, I should have used a different ink. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 1 and this is 0. ठीक है, ये कॉलम भी हमारा रेडी हो गया. ओके, नाउ फाइनली व्हाट डू वी नीड टू डू? सी XOR ऑपरेटर डिफाइन कैसे किया है? y इज इक्वल टू a bar b plus a b bar. So I need to add two columns. So now let us add these two columns, this one and this one, right? Now let's add these two columns. So we will get, if I add these two columns, the final column that I get is 0 plus 0 is equal to 0, 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 0 हो गया. तो immediately I have got my table. इससे मुझे truth table मिल गया. So for 0 0 I should get 0. So I'll write it down here. I'll write down the truth table over here. Okay. For 0 0 I should get 0. For 0 and 1 I should get 1. For 1 and 0 I should get 1. And for 1 and 1 I should get 0. For 1 and 1 I should get 0. Right now, if you notice carefully, where are you getting a 1 output? कब आपको 1 output मिल रहा है? You are getting a 1 in this entry and in this entry. Only in these two entries you are getting 1. Correct? ये दो ही entries में आपको 1 मिल रहा है. When do we get 1? See, whenever you have different inputs, when A and B are different, A is 0, B is 1, A is 1, B is 0. Whenever you have different inputs, you are getting a 1. Whenever you have different inputs, you are getting a logic 1, right? So that means for different inputs, your output will be 1. Okay, if your inputs are different, instead of if, let's write for different inputs, output is equal to 1. Output is equal to 1. And what about the other two cases? See, whenever you have 0 0, you are getting 0. Okay, I'll highlight them so you can see. Whenever you have 0 0, you are getting 0. Whenever you have 1 1, you are getting 0. That means for same inputs, what can we say? We can say that for same inputs, जब inputs आपके बिल्कुल एक जैसे हो, that time your output turns out to be 0. Your output turns out to be 0. Now this is very, very important conclusion. If you remember this, you are through with the XOR gate. If you remember this, you can remember the XOR gate. There's nothing more to the XOR gate than the rules that we have written here. Okay, so summarizing, this table is only this much. Same inputs हो तो output 0 होगा, different के लिए 1 होगा. Now I can explain to you why do we have an name as inequality detector. अब इसको inequality क्यों बोला? क्योंकि whenever the inputs are unequal inputs, high output, unequal inputs, high output. So please understand this and remember this, that this is how an XOR gate will be. This will help you to solve problems very quickly. What are the two things that will help you? If a problem is based on Boolean algebra, you should know the definition. A XOR B will be, write the product twice, AB plus AB, and then what should you do? A bar B plus AB bar. A bar B plus AB bar. Bar on top of the first, bar on top of the second variable in the second product. Done. That's the definition. If you have a logic gates kind of problem, then you should know this property. What's the second property that says? The second property that we have, I think, sorry, I'm very sorry, the visibility might have been a bit poor, the last line. Now I think it should be visible, right? The last line is visible now. So what is the main thing for Boolean algebra? From a logic gates point of view, you'll have, for different inputs, output is 1. For different inputs, the output will be 1. For same inputs, the output will be 0. For same inputs, the output will be 0, right? The output will be 0. So now this is what we have with an XOR gate. But since we are calling this a special gate, है ना, so we don't end XOR gate here. There are some more things that we can learn in an XOR gate. There are some more wonderful things about an XOR gate which will all this is kind of building up familiarity. क्योंकि होता क्या है, XOR gate में बच्चों को थोड़ा सा डर लगता है. They are not very sure what is happening, how it's happening. So that's why we'll take some more time to deep dive into XOR gate. All right. Something else that I want to talk about in an XOR gate is, an XOR gate has a very special kind of a property. Okay, an XOR gate has a special kind of property which says that if you have an odd number of ones, as inputs, then the output is going to be 1. अब इसका क्या मतलब हुआ भाई? इसका मतलब ये है, if you have a chain like this, 1 XOR 0 XOR 1 XOR 1 XOR 0 XOR 0 XOR 1 XOR 1. Okay, how can you solve this? See, the original method of solving is use XOR. XOR की property क्या है? Different inputs output is 1, same inputs output is 0. Correct? Let's try that. Look at the first two different है, तो इसका output क्या हो जाएगा? इसका output होगा different inputs output should be 1. Okay, now let's look at the next two. 1 and 1 same, my output should be 0. Okay, next 0 and 1 inputs are different, output will be 1. Next 1 and 0, now I have 1 and 0. 1 and 0 together, what will be the next? Different inputs, output should be 1. Correct? Output should be 1. This 1 and this 0 XOR together, this 1 and this 0 XOR together, different inputs, output is again 1. Output is again 1. And then 1 and 1 together, what will I have? Same inputs, output will be 0. Again this 0 and 1, different inputs, output will be 1. So this is the original way of solving this. However, there's a simpler method. What is the simple way of doing this? See, more simply how we can solve this is just count the number of ones. See, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So if I try and illustrate this, I can show it like this. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Correct? So you have 5 ones. The moment you see odd number of ones, your answer should automatically become 1. You don't even have to think about it. बस यही answer होगा. सोचने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. Okay? Next, let's do the next problem. Now let's use the second approach that we have. Count the number of ones. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You have even number. So what should be your answer? Your answer, without thinking of it, your answer should be 0. Now you might say, how did you get this property? Where did you get this property from? Come back to the truth table. All our properties come from the definition or from the truth table, है ना? तो वापस truth table पर लौट कर आते हैं. Let's see truth table में क्या लिखा है. If you look at the truth table, what do you see is there are no ones here. How many number of ones? Okay, I'll just use this color and I'll just write here. Number of ones is equal to 0. Okay, number of ones here is equal to 1. Okay, I'll write it on this side, so perhaps it becomes even more clearer. Okay, it will become even more clearer, so I'll write it here. Number of ones here are 0, number of ones here are 1. Here also you have 1, and here you have 2 ones. Right? So आपके पास number of ones कितने हो गए? 0, 1, 1 and 2. Now look at the output. For 0 you had 0, right? For 0 you are getting a 0. If I use a highlighter, see, for 0 you are getting a 0, and for 2 you are getting a 0. But for 1 you are getting a 1. For 1 you are getting a 1. For 1 you are getting a 1. That means whenever you have odd number of ones, as input, in that case your answer is always going to be 1. So that is where we get this property from. Very useful property sometimes in some kinds of problems. कुछ problems में ये जो property है ये बहुत ज़्यादा useful हो गया. Again, as I said, because this is XOR gate, we are not going to stop. We are going to do some more properties. This is a deep dive into XOR, okay? Because you should get comfortable by using XOR. The motive of this playlist is कि आपको digital पे अच्छी पकड़ बन सके. You will be able to grasp the fundamentals of digital really well. So now let's come to some very interesting circuits that we can make with XOR gates, okay? One is a very special circuit where simple सा XOR gate है. कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड नहीं. एक XOR गेट है, एक इनपुट में 1 लगा दिया, दूसरा इनपुट x है. अब ये x क्या हो सकता है? x is anything. x can be 0 or 1. Let's try and solve this. So this will help you to learn using the XOR gate, XOR operation again and again. कोशिश करके देखते हैं. How did I tell you to remember the XOR gate operation? Write a product x dot 1 plus x dot 1, then put a bar. पहले बार इसके सिर पे, दूसरे बार इसके सिर पे. First on the top of first variable, second time on the top of second variable. Correct? Now, can we simplify this further? X bar into 1, what should be the answer? X bar. X into 1 bar, what should be the answer? X into 1 bar is 0. X bar plus 0, final answer is X bar. See, you started with this. 1 was one of the inputs. एक input 1 था, दूसरा input कोई भी हो सकता है. Output क्या आया? X का complement. That means if any one input is 1, if any one input of an XOR gate is 1, in that case we can say that the output of XOR gate is the complement of other variable. Complement of other variable. जो भी आपका दूसरा वेरिएबल होगा उसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट आपका आउटसाइड आंसर होने वाला है. ऑलवेज 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 डोंट फॉरगेट दिस. दिस इज कॉल्ड अ कंट्रोल इन्वर्टर. अब ये कंट्रोल वर्ड कहाँ से आया? द वर्ड कंट्रोल कम्स फ्रॉम the other input is controlling and making it an inverter. That's why it is called a control inverter. बस उसके नाम में और कोई गहराई नहीं है. That is the meaning of it. That is the gist of the control inverter. That one will control and make the XOR to behave as a inverter. That is basically a NOT gate. वो उसको मानो force कर रहा है. It is forcing it to behave as a NOT gate. Let's come to the second circuit. Here let's see what will happen. One input is 0 and other input is again unknown. मैंने कोई x नाम का वेरिएबल यहाँ रख दिया. अब देखते हैं क्या होता है. अगेन अप्लाई द XOR डेफिनेशन दैट आई टोल्ड यू. टेक अ प्रोडक्ट, राइट अनदर प्रोडक्ट, है ना. Once put a bar on the first, second time put a bar here. Now let's get the answer. Anything into 0 will be 0. X into 0 bar, that is x into 1. X into 1 is 1. X into 1 is x. X plus 0, answer should be x. So what answer did you get? X. The answer that you got is x. So we can say if any one input is 0, then output is equal to the other input. Output is equal to the other input as it is. यहाँ अगर आपने 1 दिया तो 1 आएगा, 0 दिया तो 0 आएगा. That is the output. Here if you give 1 you will get 0. If you give 0 you will get 1. It will be inverter. Okay, this second circuit does not have a name because 1 is not controlling it, 0 is controlling it. I don't know why they are biased against 0, but this does not have a particular name as such. Let's move on to the second gate. I hope all of you have understood. If you can just go back and watch this video. That's the advantage of watching a video on YouTube, right? If something you find, if my speed is fast, watch it slightly slower. If you find I teach very slowly, थोड़ा स्पीड बढ़ा कर देखो. Watch it on 1.25x, 1.5x, and secondly watch it again and try and write as I speak. I mean, try and do things on your own. So the aim is not just to watch a video, but the aim is that you get to learn. You get to learn and apply this in an exam, whether it's your university exam or a competitive exam. Okay, trust me, if you are able to master things that we go through in this playlist, in this series of videos, you will be very well versed with digital electronics. A lot of your doubts will get cleared. Okay, yeah. Let's move on to the second gate, which is called an XOR gate, or an XOR operator. Okay, XOR gate hai. There's also Boolean operation. Now, what is the operator? The operator is a dot encircled. एक encircled dot, when you have a dot which is covered by a circle, that is an XOR operator. Okay, I'm very sorry. This will be an XNOR operator. My bad. This has to be an XNOR operator, right? This will be an XNOR operator. Okay, right. So let's move on now. This is your XNOR. Okay, and now this will be your XNOR operator. This operator is XNOR. Okay, now let's see how can we define this. How can we define this XNOR operator? Can we define this in the similar way with which we defined a XOR operator? जैसे हमने XOR को define किया था, वैसे ही हम XNOR को define कर सकते हैं क्या? Let us try and find out. First thing is the original definition. I'll write the original definition somewhere over here. So suppose you have P XNOR Q. The answer should be PQ plus P bar Q bar. This is the actual answer. Right? But I'm not going to use this. What I'm going to use, again, I'm going to give you a way to remember it, which becomes easier. which becomes easier. So the way to remember it is write the product twice again. So again write AB plus AB. Now what do you do with the bars? Now what should you do with the bars? In this case, the bars should be on top of, two variables of the same product. In XOR what were we doing? एक बार A के सिर पे, अगले बार B के सिर पे. इसमें एक ही प्रोडक्ट के दोनों सिर के ऊपर बार होना चाहिए. So you will just choose one of the products, either the first one or the second one, and write a bar on top of it. Okay. So similarly, can we try for XY? Can we try the second one on our own? So please pause the video and try it. Okay. As I told you, the aim is that you do this on your own. So if we try for XY, we'll get XY plus XY. And where are the complements? You can put it on any product. I'll put it here for the second one. Okay. If you want, you put it on the first one. Only on one. Two separate bars on two terms in one of the product terms, right? In two variables in one of the product terms. Okay. Is there a difference in the symbol? Yes, there is. As usual, when an OR becomes a NOR, the only change will be a bubble. The only change will be a bubble at the end. So there will be a bubble which will be the change from the previous symbol. Again, we want to find the truth table. Okay. So how can we find the truth table? The truth table is, oh, by the way, I can also give you one more thing about the definition. I can also tell you one more thing about the definition right now. And that is, this XOR and XNOR are connected by a NOT operation. So basically, the way to define it, there's one more definition that I should write over here. Not a definition, rather a property. We can always write this as, whenever you have A XOR B, let me use a different color. Whenever you have A XOR B, okay, you have A XOR B, right? If you take its complement, the answer is going to be A XNOR B. So when you have A XOR B complement, you are going to get A XNOR B. So basically these two are complement of each other, just like AND and NAND were complements, OR and NOR were complements. XOR and XNOR are complement operators of each other. ना एक दूसरे के complements है. So one thing we can do is directly we can fill the truth table. You remember the truth table for XOR? XOR का truth table क्या था? Same output was 0. So here output will be 1. Same output was 0. Here it will be 1. Different, you had 1. So here you will have 0. So you could directly fill it. But still, let us do the expanded form. Very quickly, we'll try and do the expanded form so that we have an idea of how we got this truth table, right? So again, let's do the same thing. First, let's find the product. First, let's find the product. We are trying to find the product of A and B. So 0 into 0, 0. This is 0 into 1, 0, 1 into 0, 0, 1 into 1 is 1. We found this column, right? We got this column. Now let's do A bar, B bar. Let's do A bar and B bar. A bar will be 1, 1, 0, 0. B bar will be 1, 0, 1, 0. B bar will be 1, 0, 1, 0. Now let's take the product of these two. A bar into B bar. 1 into 1, 1. 1 into 0, 0. 0 into 1, 0. 0 into 0, 0. Now we need to add two terms. So two columns rather. So let's just add these two columns. I'll just highlight them so that you can see it clearly. We are going to add these two columns. This one and this one. This one and this one. We'll add these two columns. Let's try and add them and see what we get. So in this case, we will get 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. This is 0 and 1 plus 0 is 1. That is the truth table that we just wrote. हमने अभी यही ट्रुथ टेबल लिखा था. So this is how your XNOR gate will work. This is how your XNOR gate is going to work, right? So this, on the other hand, the previous one was called an inequality detector. This one is called an equality detector. This particular gate is also known as an equality detector. So how do we call this an equality detector? Or rather, I can say, why do we call this an equality detector? Look at the truth table. Same inputs, output is 1, right? If you look at this one, same inputs, output is 1. And for different inputs, output is 0. So what is the conclusion we can write here? For same inputs, output is equal to 1. And we can say for different inputs, output is equal to 0. for different inputs, output is going to be 0, right? This is a very, very important property. If you are able to remember this, it will save you a lot of time, right? It will save you a lot of time, and you'll be able to solve problems with much ease. You'll be able to solve problems with a lot of ease. Okay, now this was all about your basics of XOR gates, basic of XOR gate. Let's move on. As I said, there are some more things that we are going to do in XOR and XNOR. One thing I can say is, there we had odd number of ones, the output was 1, right? If you have odd number of ones, the output is 1. Here there's a difference. If you have odd number of zeros, or rather, sorry, if you have even number of zeros, your output is going to be 1. For even number of zeros, your output is going to be 1. So again, how can we solve this one? We solve it by, see, check the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3. Is this even? No. So what should be your answer? Your answer should be, it's not even, the output is going to be 0. This one, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Even number of zeros, output is going to be 1. How did we get this property? Look at the truth table. Even number of zeros. Let's write the number of zeros here. Number of zeros are 2. Number of zeros are 1. Sorry, this is 1. Number of zeros are 1. Number of zeros are 0. For even number of zeros, your answer is going to be, for even number of zeros, your answer is being 1, right? Okay, I'll write it here. Odd number of, even number of zeros, odd number of zeros, odd number of zeros, even number of zeros. And that is why you get 1, 0, 0, 1 in the truth table column, right? So this is something that, again, this property will help you to solve a lot of problems. This property will help you to solve a lot of problems. Are there any special circuits? Are there any special circuits? Yes, they are. As long as we are doing XOR and XNOR, special gates, lot of special circuits, right? Lot of special circuits. Now you have something called as a control buffer. Control buffer. Let's see how this works. One of the input is 1. One of the input is 1 and another input is X. What is the difference? The difference is, this is an XNOR gate now. This is an XNOR gate right now. Okay. So there should be a bubble over here. This is an XNOR gate. Now let's see how will this work. Let's try this. This will become X.1 plus X.1. Where do we put the bars? Put 2 bars on one product. Okay, let's try and solve this. X.1 will become X. This term will become 0, right? Because 1 bar is 0. Final answer kya hoga? Final answer will be X. So we can say, if any one input is 1, then the output is the other input. What is your output? Your output will be an other input. Jo bhi dusra tha. If you give 1, you will get 1. If you give 0 here, you will get 0. So that is called a control buffer. This one is controlling and making it act as a buffer. It is making it act as a buffer. Now let's move on and try the other circuit. Now we'll change the controlling variable to 0. Let's try and see what if we give as 0. Let's solve this. This will be X.0 plus X.0. Put the complements on one product. Anything into 0 is 0. So this answer will be 0 plus X bar, because 0 bar is 1. Final answer will be X bar. So what can we say? If any one input is 0, then output is complement. It will be the complement of the other input. Complement of the other input. Complement of the other input, right? With this, we can say that we have, in a sense, finished with XOR. XNOR. But as I said, these are special gates. So there's one last thing done. One last thing to be done. Again, this is good for your practice so that you learn how to use XOR and XNOR. Okay. What we can do is, can we prove XOR and XNOR are complements of each other? Can we prove that? So that is going to be our next topic. We are going to try and prove this. We are going to try and prove these two things. We want to prove that A XOR B complement gives me A XNOR B. It gives me A XNOR B. I want to prove it. I want to be sure that using Boolean algebra, let's try and prove it. Okay. So let's start as all proofs start. We can start with LHS or RHS. I'll start with the LHS. What is LHS? LHS is A XOR B complement. A XOR B complement, right? First, let me write the A XOR B part. How do we write A XOR B? We write A XOR B as, we can write this as AB plus AB. If you remember how I told you to write this. And where do you put the complements? Once you put it on this, once you put it on this. But there is also a complement on top of it. So we can put this here. There's also a complement on top of it. We can put it on top of the whole thing. Okay. Now, what do we do next? Let's apply De Morgan's. I don't see any other way. So do you remember what we were doing in De Morgan's? In De Morgan's, we change the sign and break the complement, right? So this will become A bar B. This will become A bar B complement plus, instead of plus I can write dot, I can write this as A dot B bar complement. A dot B bar complement. What I have done, I have broken the complement and I have changed the sign from plus to dot. So De Morgan's successfully applied. In next step, I can again apply De Morgan's in two places. One, I can apply De Morgan's here and another here. Okay. So I can treat this as two separate terms. I'll put a bracket just so that you understand I'm treating this as two separate entities, and I'm applying De Morgan's and I am applying De Morgan's. So let's try and do that. For the first bracket, what will be De Morgan's? There's a dot in between. There's a dot in between that will turn to plus, and this complement will be broken. So already I had A bar, one more complement. I have B, one more complement. This is the first bracket. Okay. Let's apply De Morgan's here. Let's apply De Morgan's here. So what will I get? I'll get, this is A plus B bar, and this complement operator gets broken and I put this complement on top of both. And what about the dot in between? There's no change. The dot in between remains as it is. The dot in between will remain as it is. Okay. Now let's move on and see what happens. If we go further, we can solve this as A double bar plus B. What is A double bar? Is A. So A plus B bar dot, what will I have here? A bar plus B. A bar plus B. This is my final result. Now let us open the brackets. You remember the distributive property? Let's just, basically this is your 8th standard, 9th standard opening the brackets kind of thing. So if we go from A, so this A will get multiplied to A bar and B. Okay. And then this B, this will get B bar will get multiplied to A and B. A bar and B. So let's try and get that. What will we have? A dot A bar plus A dot B. A dot A bar plus A dot B. Correct? That is the first kind of product that I will have. Next, with another plus sign, I'll have B bar dot A bar. B bar dot A bar plus I'll have B bar dot B. B bar dot B. Which of these terms becomes 0? B bar dot B will become 0. A bar dot A will become 0. Right? So these terms will become 0. These two terms will become 0. So finally, what can I write? Finally, I can write this as, I could write this as A dot B plus A bar dot B bar. A dot B plus A bar dot B bar. Hey, but do you remember what this is? This is nothing but A XNOR B. This is going to be A XNOR B. This will be A XNOR B, right? So this is how you prove XOR is equal to the complement of XNOR, or rather XNOR is equal to the complement of XOR. Okay. Now the second one, I think I can leave the proof for you. I think you can try this proof on your own and get the answer. How do you prove that XOR is the complement of XNOR? Please try this proof on your own. You'll gain some confidence. Right? So don't just look at the screen. I'm solving it here, but I want you to pause and try it on your own. Let's start with the LHS. Now I'll do it slightly faster. Let's see how this works. What is my LHS? LHS is A XNOR B complement. A XNOR B complement, right? How can we write A XNOR B? We write A dot B plus A dot B. A dot B plus A dot B. Where do we put complements? On top of one product only. And there was an original complement, write it as it is. The original complement on top, write it as it is. Use De Morgan's law. If I use De Morgan's law, change the sign from plus to dot, break this complement. So I'll have A dot B complement plus A bar dot B bar complement. Now I can use De Morgan's twice. If I use it in the first product, what will I have? A bar plus B bar. A bar plus B bar. In the second product, I'll have A bar bar plus B bar bar. Right? And what is in between? The dot in between remains as it is. Finally, I can write this as, or rather in the next step, I can write this as, A bar plus B bar dot, what can I write this as? A plus B. A bar plus B bar dot A plus B. Now what should I do? Now I should again use the distributive property. Now I'll again have to use the distributive property. This gets multiplied to these two variables and this gets multiplied to these two variables, right? So let's try and use the distributive property. What will we get? We'll have a bar dot a plus a bar dot b plus b bar dot a plus b bar dot b. B bar dot b. Now I know that these two terms are going to be 0. If these two terms are 0, what is my final answer? My final answer is a bar dot b plus a dot b bar. But this is nothing but the XOR operator. This is nothing but the XOR operator. So that is how we have proved that when I take the complement of a XOR b, I'll get a XOR b, right? And when I take the complement of a XOR b, a XOR b complement, I'll get a XOR b, right? So this is a very important result. Good to understand it and good to solve it on your own. It's very good you solve it on your own. One last thing. Trust me, this is the last thing in this video. Apologies for the larger video, but I think this will be useful. Anyways, XOR passing through a NOT gate becomes XNOR, and when you operate the NOT operator on XNOR, you get XOR. This particular result is a very, very important result, but along with that, this is only valid. This result is only valid for two inputs. Valid for two inputs only. Valid for two inputs only. What do we mean? Suppose you have something like this: A XOR B XOR C complement. A XOR B XOR C complement. This may not be equal to A XOR. This will not be equal to A XNOR B XNOR C. This will not be equal to A XNOR B XNOR C, right? This is not true. This is 100% not true. Okay, so you should remember this. This property might in some way or the other, this will help you. This is an important property. So yes, sorry for the longest video. I think this is the longest video so far. Anyways, please go through it. As usual, if there's any suggestions, any complaints, anything, please put it on any doubts, please put it in the comments below. And yes, thank you for watching. And in the next video, we'll move on to some other topics than logic gates. Stay tuned. Thank you.